Hi, it's Margaret, and thank you so much for joining me here on the Gardening Me. Today, I am planting some hostas. I have this little alcove here that's kind of beside our front entrance, and right now it has very little in it other than a big old clump of hostas that were here when we first moved in. So I want to make this into sort of a hosta garden with a lot of different hostas. A few other things will probably get thrown in there as well. I already have some astilbe and a hellebore in here, and I'll probably end up putting some heuchera or something like that in here as well, but it's going to be primarily full of hostas. So let me just give you a quick look at what I'm talking about. So this is the area that I am talking about here, and you can see we have a wall on that side, and then the front porch is kind of tucked in over there. So this is a very shady, very protected area. It is on the north side of the house. The front part here, as you can see, does get quite a bit of sun kind of in midday, but it has shade in the morning and shade in the afternoon. Then the back part there is pretty much shaded the entire day. So what I'm planning on doing is doing some hostas that don't mind the sun, kind of along the front area here. And back there, I'll be putting all of the hostas that prefer more of a shady spot. So this spot, as you can see, has very little in it. It has a few ginormous rocks. It has a variegated dogwood that I cut back drastically last year because it was just going crazy, and I think it's going to take a little while to recover there. Other than that, there is an astilbe. This I planted last year actually, and here, this hellebore here, I planted last year as well. So these guys are just getting settled in. Now the plan here is I've already kind of laid out where I'm going to be putting the hostas. The two little guys there are the bare-root hostas that I got. I got a bunch of them, but only two of them are going in this particular spot. There's the Hans hosta that I purchased from Canadian Tire in a video a couple weeks ago. And also I purchased a couple of other hostas in the meantime as well. This one, the Abiqua Drinking Gourd hosta, and this one here, which is called August Moon, and it is a hosta that actually doesn't mind a little bit more sun. It's more of a golden hosta. I've sort of laid out what I'm thinking of in terms of the hostas. Oh, one thing I forgot. So back there, I'm just gonna squeeze through here. These were hostas that were in my garden when I first moved in here. I have no idea what variety they are, but they're really, really pretty. The problem was the area they were in had this crazy bamboo grass. In order to get rid of the bamboo grass, I had to dig up all of the hostas, and I actually didn't want to put them back in that spot because we're kind of rejiggering that area. So what I did is I put them in a holding bed. So what I'll be doing is I'll be putting them in maybe 2 or 3 clumps back here. These are just kind of a medium green. They go with everything. They actually do really well in full sun, which is where they were in the backyard. So I'll probably put at least one clump kind of near the front. The other thing I'm thinking is this other no-name hosta, because I have no idea what it is. Again, it was here when we first moved in. I am probably going to be taking some of that out. I'm actually thinking I may be taking this kind of bit out here and just leaving that nice round section there. There is going to be quite a bit of space in between the hostas still, because a lot of these guys grow 2 or 3 or even more feet wide at maturity. But it does take a few years for that to happen, but that's okay. I do want to plant them more or less so that they have the space that they need when they are fully mature. But I also want them kind of to fill in this entire area. I don't want there to be gaps in between the hostas. If it says it's going to be about 2 feet wide at maturity, I will probably cut a little bit off of that and give it about 18 inches of space. And then if I do find that they're getting a little bit too crowded, not a problem, because hostas are super easy to dig up and move around, divide, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not worried about that. And that's more or less what the plan is. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to start at the back and kind of work my way forward. I'm going to plant the ones that I purchased first, and then I will look to see how I can use the ones that I dug up from the backyard as sort of a filler. So first I'm doing this guy, and he is Hans, and that's the Hosta name. And this one is a height of about 2 feet, and it gets into about a 3-foot wide clump. So I think this will fit beautifully here right beside the dogwood there. So let me dig a hole for that. Just gonna clear the mulch away a little bit. You know what? I just realized I should grab a bucket to put the soil in. Okay, here we go. Now I want to have this at basically the same height that it's currently growing in. You can see the roots are coming out. So this guy might be a little bit root bound in here. Yeah, a little bit. Not too bad. Oh, well, actually not too good either. Those are very stuck together, but I'm not going to really take them apart very much, but kind of like the areas that are really hard as a rock, I'll just scuff up a bit like that. That's good enough. That's good enough, I'm sure. So I'm going to put this here. That, you know what? I actually think I took a little too much soil off because it looks... Okay, is that good? No, still more. Now, you'll often hear that the proper way to plant is to make a hole that's like twice as wide as the containers. Our area is very rocky, so just digging a normal hole often takes quite a bit of effort, even sometimes for a 1-gallon pot. Now, I'm not saying that it's not beneficial to the plant. Maybe it is. I'm just saying that for me, I've never really noticed much of a difference, so I don't really think, in my case, it's worth the extra effort. Although I have to say, I've never done a side-by-side experiment, so keep that in mind. So I think that's good. It's looking basically level. Now, I do have some slow-release fertilizer I'm going to add to the bottom of the hole here. Some organic slow-release fertilizer. I'm just going to take like a handful and put it in and kind of mix it in. And there we go. And now I'm going to start filling this back up with soil. There. That is beautiful. Oh, this is such a gorgeous hosta. Love it so much. Okay, so on to the next one. So this is the next one I'm going to plant, and this is Abiqua Drinking Gourd. And this one gets to be 24 inches tall and 36 inches wide. Oh, this one looks like it has the old roots coming out the bottom too. This is good because I don't have to make as large of a hole because it's not as large of a plant or pot. Whoop, almost put that in my fertilizer thing. Okay, let's see. Oh, you know what? Again, I think I took too much out here. Let's put some back. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, let's take this out. See, these roots are okay. A little bit wound up, but not too bad. So how are we here? I think we're good. I really like keeping track of all my hostas and what varieties they are. For now, I do not have tags for these two, so I'm just going to do that. Okay, this little guy is next. And this one is one of the bare roots I got, and this is Guacamole. So after I got the bare roots, I potted them up into these kind of, I don't know how big they are, maybe 3 inch across containers. And I actually have the height and width just taped to the side so that I don't have to kind of look it up when I'm planting. And oh, here, so these are the kind of labels I have been making for the last couple of years, and they seem to last. I just use one of those label maker thingamajigs to do the actual label, and so far, so good. They have lasted even in the sun. The long-term verdict isn't yet up on these, but I did go to a garden where the person there used them, and they said they lasted for years and years before they rusted out. We're talking like over 10 years, that kind of thing. So I'm optimistic. Let's get this one going. Did I say what this was? This one is 22 inches tall and 3 feet wide. For this little one, this shovel is a little bit overkill, actually. I should have just brought a trowel, but that's okay. I don't have my trowel here, and I have my shovel here, so I'll just use this. And even one shovel full should probably do it. Now you can see all of these roots. I'm pretty sure these are all coming from the cedar that we have maybe 6 feet away from here. So it's going to be sucking up quite a bit of the moisture. And as you can see back here, I don't know if you can kind of, right there, I guess, you can see I already have the tubing set up for irrigation. I haven't finalized the irrigation in this area yet. The tubing is just kind of like the skeleton of it so that I can set things up. Oh, gotta get my fertilizer. So far, we have been pretty rainy and cool. So I haven't really felt the urgency to finalize the drip irrigation yet, but it is going to be soon. I'm super excited about this one. This is such a pretty hosta. I mean, the leaves are significantly bigger than what you see right now. I also have to mulch this area, and that's going to make a big difference in how well the moisture is retained in the soil. And as for the tags, I like putting the tags kind of behind so that I know where to look if I'm not sure what something is, but it's kind of not, that obvious. So here's the next little guy that was also a bare root, and this is stained glass, and this one is a offshoot, or what do they call it? A sport, I think, of guacamole. So it's very similar to guacamole, except I think the main difference is it's a different size. It's either slightly smaller or slightly bigger, like the leaves. And the size itself is about 15 inches tall. This one gets 48 inches wide. So I think this will be fine. Like, it's plenty far away from everything, so that should be okay. This one did not do as well as guacamole did when I potted it up, but I'm not too concerned because hostas are pretty resilient, and I'm sure once I get it in the ground, it'll be just fine. Oh, I see the roots coming out here on the side. Let's go like this. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, forgot to put the fertilizer, but that's okay. I'll just sprinkle some around the edge. There we go. And now just fill it up. Okay, so now I'm kind of looking at that spot and I'm thinking I want one of the big clumps here from the backyard. I want it just over there in that spot right there. I think I might put like a couple of clumps in that spot and then maybe one down there where it actually is right now. That's what I'm thinking. So let's put the two clumps back there in that spot. Like I'm thinking around here maybe. And another one over here, kind of near the back. So here is one clump. I'm actually thinking this may look a little too similar to the drinking gourd, like the color is a little too similar. The leaf shape is very different, but the color is too similar. So I'm not sure I want it in this spot right beside it. I think I am going to put a clump over here in this spot, but in here, I think I might want something blue, like more blue, kind of to pick up on the blue from the Hans Hosta. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go and I'm going to put this right here. Okay, pick this guy up. So I'm going to leave then this guy open here, and I am going to, next time I'm at the nursery, look for a nice plainish blue, not a variegated, but kind of a plainer blue hosta to put in this spot. Okay, and here, see, rocks, rocks. Here I'm going to put another chunk of that hosta, sort of, kind of like around here, I'm thinking. Like maybe around here, right near the line. I'm wondering if that's too close. It's fine. It'll be fine. And you know what? I just realized it'll be fine because as well, this here, I'm going to be taking the this one here, a chunk of it off. So yeah, that'll be perfect, I think. And here it goes like this. How does that look? Beautiful. I also have a couple of bigger clumps. No, you know what? I think that one looks really nice. I like that one. Okay, that one's the one that's going in. So here I have the August moon, and I'm thinking I'm going to plant it kind of close here. The other ones that I have might go good like around there, kind of near this rock. I think I might do that. I'm going to do the autumn moon first, or August moon first. I keep calling it autumn moon. And then take it from there. This one is, let me see, this one gets 20 inches tall and 24 inches wide. So it's not too big. This guy looks very good. So, like that. So now I think this spot right here, oh, there's a huge rock there. I guess not on the rock, but in front of the rock. Can I get that rock out? I don't know how big that is. You know what? I'm going to try to get that rock out because quite frankly, more or less where the rock is the perfect spot. Of course. Let me see what I can do with this, if I can get it out or not. Oh, this one's going to be an easy peasy one to get out. No problem. And it'll basically make the hole for me. There we go. Look at that. Let me see how this fits. Pretty good. You know what? I actually think it's a little too close to where the stained glass is. I think it needs to just move up a smidge. I hope this will be okay. Let me stand back and see how this looks. Yeah, much better. It's amazing how, you know, even something like 4 or 5 inches can make a big difference. And now, last thing is I am going to just chop off kind of a clump here so that I'm leaving this nice clump over here. And I will be reusing these hostas elsewhere. I want a nice kind of round clump here. So I'm just going to look to see where I can take them out. I'm going to start on this side because this is the easier side. There's kind of a big gap here. So I'm going to start digging them up here and then kind of going in from there. I'm wondering if I should have done this before so that, because now I'm kind of having to be a little bit careful I don't step on anything I just planted. So here's one nice big clump. And I think I'm going to go in through here between these guys. Okay. And hope I don't damage the ones that are here. There. And this is good here. This will kind of straighten out and get a little bit fluffier. I ended up breaking off one, but that's okay. Yeah, and then just these two kind of stragglers over here. Okay, and there we go. Now just fill in this area. And we are all done. And I think it looks really, really good. I just have to get that blue hosta for the hole kind of right over there. I'm also thinking that in this little spot right here, kind of near the rock, I mean, ignore the drip line, that something like a miniature hosta would look really, really cute, kind of up against that rock. So that about covers it. I am going to go grab my watering can because I don't have easy access to a hose here and get these well watered in. So as I was watering, guess what I noticed? There's a little hosta here, and I knew it was here, but I guess I just totally forgot. It's a totally different kind of hosta with kind of like long, narrow leaves here, and it's underneath this spruce. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just dig this guy up and move it, I think, over there, right here where this rock is. So I'm gonna do that right now and then show you guys what it looks like when it's done. So it's a little bit mangled. It was kind of difficult getting it out from underneath the tree, but you know what? Hostas are resilient, so I am confident that in another couple of weeks, it'll look a lot better. I'm probably going to just put some mulch around here. I don't have proper mulch right now. I do have a whack of arborist's mulch, and my main priority right now is keeping these guys hydrated and keeping that soil moist. So the fact that it's not going to look all pretty like what you would get when you use, that finely shredded kind of darker mulch, I don't know, that's okay with me as long as the plants are happy and healthy. So anyhow, thank you so much for joining me today, and we will see you next time. Bye.